Here we are then. Hello.
Hello.
Dan.
Hello.
Right.
Again.
Welcome along to Live Lunch. It's the 29th of July 2020 and the weather is gorgeous. Usually it's rainy when we do this.
It usually is.
But it is absolutely gorgeous, so I thought I'd show you. There you go. That's the view out of our window from the coffee bar. Quite often see foxes and whatnot running around there, but
And
not
whatnot.
today. And whatnot.
And whatnot.
Yeah, wild whatnot. You got to love a wild whatnot. Hey, today we're going to be joined by TJ. Obviously, he's already tied up at the moment.
Of course.
That's just part of the script now. Welcome along. TJ's tied up.
TJ's not
That's
here yet.
about it. Yeah.
TJ's late every morning. It's nothing new.
I should tell you that I got Dan with me, of course. Ugh, wrong button again. I've got Dan with me. Dan, as you may or may not know, is head of parts, really, aren't you?
Correct.
Here.
Yep.
Does all the parts. So if you have any queries at all, drop us a line, drop us a note in the queries there and questions, and we'll answer live while we're doing it. Now, if you're watching this as a recording, if you're watching it on Facebook, then as you're watching it, you can actually comment on it in real time as well.
Oh, yeah, keep an eye on those. Yep.
So we can always go back and answer any questions then. If you're watching this elsewhere, and by elsewhere I'm talking about YouTube, but more about that another time. We're just building our YouTube channel up, by the way. Then you'll have to leave a comment, and we will answer when we can. There you go. I think that's all the admin out of the way.
I think that's good admin, yeah.
Good, thank you very much. All right, so mugs. Let's talk about mugs. I know we talked about mugs last week.
So my emails have been quite busy over the last week since we last discussed this.
Cheers.
So we discussed mugs last week. You put my email address at the bottom, and the email's been coming in thick and fast.
Good.
People are liking them.
Which means that we can put in our first order. So if you're watching this on the Wednesday, well done. Get your order in now, because I'm doing all the artwork and sending it off this week. So hopefully we'll have them back very, very soon. So mugs are now available, and we've got enough to make our first order.
If for some reason you didn't see last week, God knows why
Why
you wouldn't have done. So the mug's personalisable, so I need some information from you. See, this bit stays the same. It's the BMW logo, Sycamore Motorrad. This bit here, I need your choice of current motorcycle and the name you'd like on it, please. They're £10 including VAT.
£10 including VAT. £10 all in.
All in.
You got accused of being like a
Market salesman.
trader,
Yeah.
which is quite good.
I consider myself slightly more professional than that, but hey.
There's nothing wrong with being a market
There's
trader.
nothing wrong with
mate.
being a market trader. No. I wasn't suggesting there was.
What a snob! What a snob! Gee, your parents must be so proud.
Oh, they're not.
So we are going to talk about the R NineT specifically today, which is one of our favourites, isn't it? In fact,
It's
that's
definitely
what you
one of my
chose to put on your mug.
Yeah, I chose the Urban GS R NineT from there. Yeah.
What's the Urban GS? Tell me about what's the Urban GS.
Okay, so there's a few derivatives of the R NineT. The R NineT, when it first came out, was just a bike on its own. They bought some more out since then. So this one, compared to the original R NineT, has a larger front wheel. It's got a 19-inch rather than a 17-inch front wheel. And it's got a few cosmetic changes.
Without getting any... I'll get this question in before TJ comes and joins us. What difference does that 2-inch make on the wheel?
So it makes quite a big difference to handling. I personally prefer a 19-inch front wheel,
Right.
but there's quite a few people that prefer 17-inch front wheel. I
For
can't have
those
a
that-
serious conversation with
For
you.
those that are watching, TJ has arrived. He's behind the camera and he's giggling.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Which we assumed you would do, mate. All right, so you prefer the 19?
Yeah, I think that probably came from, as most of my customers will know, I owned a GS Adventure for the best part of 3 years, so I got used to commuting on that daily. So that 19-inch front wheel, although I found it a bit to get used to after going from 17 inches, I then got very used to, and now to go back on to
Dan,
17
that adventure, is that the one that I filmed you falling off going up a 3-inch curve?
That's the one.
I thought so, yeah.
TJ's here, as you probably
Cheers,
discovered.
TJ.
TJ is here, and he's over the other side.
Believe me, I came off that many more times than the one time TJ managed to get that on camera.
Tiny little curve, that thing.
I'd been barrel rolled round Thetford. Coming off a curb was minor.
There you go. There's TJ at the coffee.
I don't know where I was.
Yeah, no, you're in front.
You're in
I think
sharp,
I
mate.
might-
That's one.
Just
Yeah.
trust me.
What I'm going to say though is, I'm a bit grumpy today
Okay.
Ooh.
Why?
Because I wasn't very well, so I had to go for a COVID test,
Right.
and that was fine, but it turned out to be even worse. It was man flu. So
Oh.
I'm still getting over it. So I just wanted to let people know. That's why you've got to wear a mask if you come in here.
Hmm.
Not COVID, it's man flu is the problem.
Barry Swallow says TJ being childish. How rare. With a laughing face, so I think that that incites sarcasm.
When it comes to childish,
You
that
do
would be
all right.
Barry.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got while we're on the subject of Barry, we've got you in picture, by the way. While we're on the subject of Barry, Barry, I was sat here yesterday and introduced myself to you, and then you walked off.
Yeah, that's how memorable it was for Barry.
No way.
Yeah. Oh,
He
hello.
was looking at his new bike.
Hello,
he
Merrick.
was excited.
Ah, yeah,
Walked away.
he did pick up his new bike yesterday, which he was very
Okay.
excited about. Yeah.
Perhaps a bit preoccupied then,
Yeah.
maybe. All right, you're going to come around this side and join us.
No.
All right.
He doesn't want to be.
You have your own camera then. That's fine. I'm ready for your childness.
I've got work to do. Back to it.
Okay. So,
Bye then.
nothing stops for the customer. Right. So,
What can we like TJ then? Let's do it.
yeah, that's fine. We can do this, can't we?
Oh, easy. Yeah.
All right. I've got every faith in you, mate. Now, you were talking about the GS. What other models are there of the R NineT?
Yeah, so you've got the Urban GS. You've also got the Scrambler, which actually, the one that's behind us is a heavily customised version of the R NineT Scrambler. That also has the 19-inch front wheel. All the others do have the 17-inch front wheel. That'd be the R NineT and the R NineT Pure, and of course the R NineT Racer.
Okay.
So yes, we've got 5 in total.
Okay. Good. All right. When we had the, I'm going to say S1000 RR here.
Yep.
The RR.
The armour.
When we had that here, I asked the question, who's it for? And it wasn't for the likes of me.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the R NineT?
So the R NineT, yeah, I would say. So it's not really what we'd class as a starter bike. Most likely in the range for that would be something like a 700 GS. But there's no reason why a starter couldn't start on an R NineT. It's a perfectly fine starter bike. It's just not really marketed that way.
Okay.
But we do see quite a few new bikers, especially maybe the hipster kind, that aren't buying it for. That's fine. It's not offensive. They don't mind that.
that was offensive. All right.
You might find that those, so they're not buying a bike to commute on or anything else. They're buying a bike for going to the cafe and being part of that culture, and they might be enticed by an R NineT.
Okay. All right. Please come and add some maturity to this conversation.
On-
I'd never thought I'd say that to
social
TJ.
distancing.
Definitely not.
Maturity, I'll go and
I
get
know.
someone that will
Daniel's
help
Daniel's digging holes for himself here, so that's
well
good.
done.
I use the word hipster. That's not offensive, is it?
It is to most of our customers. That's what it is. I think it's a problem with their hip. Bloody
No,
hell.
that's offensive.
Is it?
To those
Sorry,
people that know
grow
me
up,
outside of
act
work,
mature.
they will be surprised that I'm not the one causing offence. So that's good. All right. So we're talking about it's still not got a mug, TJ.
No,
Still
still
not
not
got a
got a
mug.
mug. Still on pre-order.
Okay.
Not long now.
Have you given your order to Dan so you can have one for next week?
No, I want my couch convention ones. You're not wide enough.
No, you're right. I'm not.
You can stand in front of me.
Oh.
Oh, that's cruel.
I'm actually thinking of going on a sponsored Slim or something.
Yeah, is that
Yeah.
some kind of
Lose weight.
bicycle, is it?
No. Try because I'm going to lose weight. My daughter's getting married at the end of this year, so nice to be.
They should be off
A
the
little
patent.
Yeah, that's true. She's a lovely girl. Right, so the R NineT. Let's get back to business. Right?
Yeah, let's do the sales
Okay.
bit while TJ's got
So-
time for us.
R9.
So here's the thing. So at the moment, I'm right in saying for the Q3, for quarter 3, we've got these
Yep.
deals which you've probably seen come up on Facebook, where there's a picture and then there's the blue advert underneath it with all the different deals. So let me tell you a little bit about that, and hopefully TJ will be able to give me a little bit of a
I'll put you right.
put me
Yeah,
right when I
yeah.
get it wrong. So these are contributions that Sycamore Motorrad will make when you buy a new bike. So if you were to pick up an R NineT, you could get £750. Yep. Towards
Accessories,
customization
yep.
for the accessories and whatnot, and we'll talk about those in just a minute. However, there is another thing going on at the moment where Sycamore Motorrad are upping the value of your used by.
Or part exchange, or BMW part exchange by £500.
There you go. So by £500, so you could get £500 extra for your old bike when you buy an R9T. So in effect, you can get £500 more for your bike plus £750 towards customization.
Plus, here's a little secret I didn't tell you
I didn't know about this one.
Normal finance rate is 9.9 APR, and they'll be doing 7.9 on these. So you're saving money. That's a triple whammy, that.
Triple whammy. That's pretty good. Huh?
Yeah.
All right.
John?
He hasn't got a bike to trade in, so you can only make two of those work. Go on.
Oh well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, said someone I can recall.
I'm hoping that if I come in often enough, unpaid, that you'll just give me a bike anyway.
Well, you've got to come in unpaid first.
If you'd like to hire me. All right, so...
I'm not going to say what just came into my head.
So,
Town.
right, so we can do this customization, we can trade it in, and we get the up to £750 for accessories, which means that then you move from TJ and his team to Daniel and his team.
And Lisa's team, because it can also be on
And Lisa's
clothing.
team.
Yeah, you can use it on clothing as well. Yeah, absolutely.
So you've got £750 that you can spend in store to get yourself started with your customization. So, Dan, you bought some stuff here.
I did, yeah.
Let's,
Move across. Let's have a
Right.
squeeze. So, customization options for the R9T are almost endless. The bike was created with customization in mind. So the first one I've got really doesn't go with customization. It really goes with something nice and simple. If you were going to use the bike for commuting or something like that, you could go for the Navigator. So that's the BMW Navigator 6. You could get that fully fitted with the mounts and everything for the bike and have enough left over for a t-shirt. So that's your first option.
okay, hang on a minute.
Yep.
So let's talk about the Navigator.
Yeah, Navigator 6, yep. Fits on pretty much every model we do. Now, a lot of models do actually come with nav prep from the factory. So you wouldn't need anything more than what's in that box, which at the moment is on offer for £549 rather than £699. So that's a good deal that we've got on its own. Now, the R19 never does come with nav prep from the factory. You would need to put that on after, but it is perfectly possible, and you could do that with £750 contribution. You can buy the nav and everything else that you need.
Is that because the R90? Sorry, mate.
I was watching the demonstration on
Cool,
the
it's
sat
good,
nav.
is that because the R90 is not designed or
Yeah.
to go longer distances?
You can.
It's all right for
yeah,
longer
you
distance,
can easily do it.
but I wouldn't be out on it to and from work in any poor
Yeah.
weather.
It's not made for commuting, and it's also really based around the look of it. Dare I say, a nav bracket on the handlebars, just here, it gets a little bit bulky, and although it's not completely unpleasant, it does kind of take away a little bit from what the bike is about. So they tend to not put it on as standard as something that people might choose if they feel it's necessary.
Right. Okay.
But for instance,
Yep.
these rather slick Roland Sand design
Oh,
rocker covers
We're getting to that.
look more in keeping than the sat nav.
All right. So
Sorry.
you say we're getting to that, Dan.
We'll
Let's
get
get
to
to
that,
that.
because there's a few other options. So your other option is this one behind us is heavily customised. As TJ rightly said, it's got rocker covers that have been made between BMW and Roland Sand's design. These are all machined. It's got a few parts from the same kit, including little bezels that fit around. You've also got the front engine cover, which TJ is kindly pointing to. It's also got the brushed aluminium tank, which I absolutely love. This can come with or without a weld seam down the middle. This person's gone for without, but they both look equally amazing. We have, it is also a factory option, so you can do that as a factory. No, you put it on after. Yeah, it's expensive, but it can be done.
So you wouldn't advise if
If you were going to do it, if you were going to do it and you were going to buy the bike brand new, you'd definitely do it from the factory. It would work out cheaper. Purely for the fact that obviously then you're only buying one tank. If you get the standard tank and then you buy the other tank from me, you've bought 2 tanks. If you get it done from the factory, you only get this one. So you've saved the price of a tank.
Okay.
It's also got bits of carbon fibre and lots of other nice bits on. But that's not your only options. There's plenty of others. I have put a little packet together, which you've got some photos of. If you want to put those on the screen.
There you go.
So that packet you could actually get done for the £750. In that packet, you've got the single red seat with the rear luggage rack. You've got the underride protection, so the sump guard, as most people would know it, and the side number boards. You get 2 of those, one either side. that would look great on something like the Scrambler or the Urban GS. That would really be in keeping with that sort of bike.
I did send you a modified picture of that one.
You did. I decided not to use your modified picture, but thank you very much. It was appreciated all the same.
And strange enough, it's not what you're thinking at home.
No, it's not.
No, it was personalised. That was all.
It just said TJ on it. It wasn't what you have in your head. Okay.
There are a few options. Of course, the other option, as Dave rightly pointed out to me earlier, is you can use it towards anything. So you don't have to come to me and get your customised bits after the bike. You can get things from the factory as well.
Okay.
So a perfect example of that, and I think you've got a picture of this as well, is we've got a 719 option Scrambler in, which is that one there, which has got a lovely paint job. Now that paint job, TJ might correct me with, but I think is £475.
I wasn't listening. I was
719 option Scrambler.
If you'd asked me earlier, I would have checked the price.
Well,
but I haven't got a clue.
I think it's £475.
Prepared.
You would be able to take that out of your £750 contribution, so you could you could save a bit of money on that as well. That's in stock, and actually you could buy that, and obviously it would be ready.
Yes.
So earlier on, Dan was talking about it being the look of the bike. So it's really kind of going back to golden age.
It's going back in time, and really, if you're going to ride one of these, sorry ladies, you need to grow a decent beard, get some tattoos, open face helmet.
That's more offensive than using the word hipster.
Well, I could have said at the start, or maybe I could have missed out. Sorry ladies.
They are.
So maybe one or two that have beards.
They're really good bikes, and they are comfortable long distance. So last year, or maybe the year before, we had a really hot Maybank holiday weekend, and we did a trip over to Bike Shed. A few customers came with us. You were probably there for that. We went to Bike Shed and then to Ace Cafe. So they were both London. If you've never been, if you haven't, you definitely should do. My bike of choice for that ride was the Scrambler. Dare I say, would have been more comfortable bikes to get to London, but for in and around London, that was amazing, and it wasn't uncomfortable on the way.
Excellent. Good.
What did I ride?
What did you ride? You took something weird, I think.
But regardless of what it was quite a cool looking bike.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Can any of our viewers remember what TJ?
I can't remember what TJ was on. I remember taking the Scrambler because it was just the perfect bike for it, especially because it was so hot. It was ridiculously warm, wasn't it? It was like 35 degrees, so the hottest day of the year.
I remember I took the XR because I had to keep turning it off.
Yeah, I had to keep turning it off.
Yeah, it was getting very hot.
Yeah, sat in London traffic on Maybank holiday over London Bridge was a bit too much to ask.
Nice size.
Yeah,
lovely.
Absolutely.
But it was very warm.
Yes, it was rather. You just
just
chilling on your phone.
No, I'm chilling on your phone.
Oh, even worse. God knows what I'm going to find.
So what you're saying is most of these live viewers are staff?
Well, we've got one running just to keep an eye on comments coming in.
How much is that R NineT with all its options on? I assume, Gavin, you're talking about the one behind us.
This one here. I will break your heart here, I'm afraid. That is actually a private vehicle.
Doesn't matter, we can do one like it.
Yeah, we
could definitely do one
when
like
it was
together.
sold new, it was approximately 15,500 to 16,000.
Okay.
Sounds quite.
Do you know when you're talking about the price of some of the other BMW motorcycles, that's not...
No, because it's been totally individualised to the way the customer wanted that himself.
Yeah.
So there won't be another one looking exactly the same as that.
Well, unless Gavin decides to do exactly the same now.
But we'll change something,
Yeah.
Gavin. We'll put a little side number plate with TJ on the side, yeah?
That was one of my finest projects. I really enjoyed doing that. The customer sort of came to me and we were discussing, we spent probably 2 hours together going through a lot of different options and really customising the bike to how we want it. And I'd like to do more things like that, you know. It's really nice when a customer kind of has an idea and wants you to bring it to life, and you can be a little bit artistic, which I'm usually not. And that was really, really good fun, and I enjoyed seeing the finished product on that, and it's been sat here for quite a while on display.
How do you decide on what you want to put on there? That looks gorgeous.
Yep.
But how did he know that that was going to look gorgeous with that combination? How do you decide what you want and what you don't want?
Well,
is it just in your mind's eye?
Yeah,
Or?
it really is kind of in your mind's eye. Obviously, there's pictures available of things like, so you can get a picture of the machined packet on an R NineT Scrambler, but that doesn't include things like the tank and the carbon fibre, it just includes the way the size design. So you kind of have to a bit and visualise how they're going to work together.
Or what you could do, obviously being older, is look on Google, and you'll find a shed load of pictures.
Okay.
You can flick from one to another. You can see, you'll find a bike with the alley tank. you'll find a bike with the 719 tank, and you'll be able to mix and match. Some people, for instance, wouldn't want the brown scrambler seat, so you could change that. Some might want a slightly more Larry version. Funny enough, I just saw one on the internet this morning, a Swiss dealer who has got blue anodised rims and various other parts of the bike. It looks stunning, but it's not something that we've had a chance to do yet.
There's an interesting question here, which isn't one that I would normally bring up on a BMW. Let's call this a podcasty thing. We're stretching out. We're stretching it. As to why do you think BMW have gone down this route when there are other manufacturers in the building that do a very good version of this kind of retro style bike? Why BMW?
BMW's history goes back to 1923, and if you see some of the bikes that they built post-war, I nearly said post-Hitler then, post-war, 50s, 60s, you look at the
Stroke 6s. Live isn't the way to go.
No, we need censorship on this, don't we?
Then they were a very distinctive style, which they've tried to not copy, but include in this version, in this range, the R NineT range. The original R NineT that came out, funny enough now, is 6 years ago, and that we had a queue of people. It was 9 months long, the waiting list, because it was a gorgeous retro, stylish looking bike.
It's pretty precision manufacturing as well, isn't it? That's what you're getting for a BMW. Whatever you're getting.
It is. I think that's a German trait. There's a right way and a wrong way, and they'll only do it their way, which is right.
A customer said to me, the good thing about the R NineT is you get that retro heritage bike without having the retro heritage faff. You just get on it and ride it. You don't have to worry about it leaking oil or not starting when you go to or anything like that. It's built well. They're brand new, but they don't look it. You know, they've got that heritage and old school feel about it.
So the craftsmanship, the reliability, that's why BMW.
I think that's one of the reasons. Yeah.
And also, there's this little thing here. That carries an awful lot of kudos. People look at that, and one of the main perceptions is quality. It's an aspirational brand still. And so people will look at that and compare it to other manufacturers' retro style bikes. And this does stand quite a way ahead of them. And it's little things, as Dan has been saying, anything from the 3-year warranty, the backup service with BMW is second to none. We're lucky to ride on the back of the car network, and so Dan can press a button at 4 o'clock, and when we come in the morning, the part he needs is here. And other manufacturers just can't boast that.
Absolutely, that's a big plus. Little fun fact for you: we were speaking about 719s. While we talk about heritage, so we talk about 719 options, like the Scrambler paint job that we've got. So 719 is something that they have started using again recently. The 719 holds its own heritage value. It's what BMW used to use back in the day for any options that were fitted at the factory. So if you had something that wasn't mainstream and you had it fitted at the factory, it was classed as an option 719. So now you've got the 719 options. They brought that back. That's quite a recent thing. And it refers to a lot of factory works, things like paint jobs and things like that.
So it's even more back to
its heritage. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and they've moved 719 now across quite a few bikes in the model range. So in R2 you can get a 719 paint job, seat and various other bits. It just makes the bike look a little bit more special.
It's all a bit more distinctive.
Okay. Nice. All right. That's the 719 in a nutshell. I think we've done pretty well there. Thank you, TJ.
That's all right. Where do you want to go?
Thank you, Dan. No.
Oh.
you usually just wander off.
Don't even usually say goodbye.
Where am I? And then you wander off. But don't forget about the mugs. You've still got time to make the first batch. If you send Dan an email.
I saw a question earlier. There was a question as to why TJ didn't have one of these mugs yet. The question is, TJ's tight. You know, you can't get the money off of TJ. I've tried. You just can't do it.
Okay, well, first of all,
he's using a paper cup. Slumming it.
It's my own one.
Let me tell you the real reason. Oh, by the way, lovely Lisa pointed out that you were riding an XR when you went to the.
That's what I said.
Was it? Sorry,
yeah, but she remembered more
So the reason why TJ or anybody else, just me and Dan have got mugs, is that we had to have. I got a couple made up just as a test. So Dan's my favourite person here. So
And I just wasn't worthy.
you weren't worthy. No. So that's
realises that.
TJ. If you've got any questions about any of the bikes here and about the trade-ins, give TJ a call. I don't like standing there. It feels a bit awkward.
Yeah, it does, doesn't
It really doesn't feel
out of the way,
and I feel like I'm turning sideways.
Now that
And,
you said that, actually, one of the because of where we are, Bell Media are based in Peterborough,
Yeah.
and lots of the journalists want to borrow bikes, knowledge, and one of them rang me yesterday, obviously, for a bit of knowledge,
Okay.
and wanted a pretty picture of me.
and who did you pass them on to?
And but they wanted to know how a customer would get the best deal on buying a bike. And one of the things that crops up with customers is if they've got a part exchange, which we've been talking about
Yeah.
earlier. Now, if you've got a part exchange and you're going to bring it in for us to value it, wash it, look after it, know about it. When was the service last done? Give me as much information as you can. And not only do you get the extra from BMW, you might get a little bit more from me because the bike looks better than it could have done. And it's a little things like that people will come to our place, and we've got, as you can see from myself and Dan, there are other people here that are actually quite knowledgeable, and we can spend time with them, and we want to build a longer term relationship with customers. It's not just come in, how much can you do this for, mister, and never see you again. This is not a car showroom, and so when you buy the bike, you're buying into a part of the Sycamore team, whether you like it or not.
God, don't put them off.
Hashtag people
But no,
first.
there are actually,
You know, and it's no secret that I don't know much about motorbikes, although I am learning. I'm using jargon and whatnot.
all right.
When I first the RR, when I first I said S1000 RR earlier on.
Went for it.
When I first come here, one of the things that I was curious about was what made this tick, and it was people, and it was the people that are here. And I feel very comfortable going and talking to anybody about anything that I have a query about, and they'll answer me. There's no sneering, there's no, oh, do you not know that? Or
No.
I mean, I didn't know, one down, five up. I know,
You
right?
just did that to show off.
I did. but all these things, angle of the dangle. I know that now.
Tangle, there you are.
But every single person here, from head of business down to the lowest menial, rides bikes.
Not everyone yet. I'm getting
Right,
there.
there has to be one that
I'm getting
ruins
there.
it. But,
And the cleaner. Eric and the cleaner are the only
Yeah,
ones.
no, van driver, he rides bikes. Everyone rides bikes, and everyone's got a passion about
Yeah.
bikes, and has done for many, many years. So the amount of knowledge, if you put into the total number of years, I've been in the motorcycle industry for 30 years. Even Dan's managed 5 years now. And when you look
Feels like a
downstairs at some of the techies and the other sales guys, we're well into 3 figures.
And
I've been in the
I
motor for
find
10,
as
by the way. Here for 5.
as an outsider, in inverted commas, it's not that you know your job; it's that you actually love motorbikes, and that's why you're so knowledgeable. Because when something happens, you go, "Oh, what is it? Where is it? How is it?" And
I'm going to
what to do.
expose something here. How many tattoos have I got, Dan?
0, I believe. But you're about to show me one. Oh, look at that.
There you go.
Oh, we need
And that's how
we
much
need
it
camera
means
2 on
to
this.
me.
Oh, wow. Is that your only one?
Yeah.
I never knew you had a tattoo.
There you go.
How old's that?
Not as old as me,
Older than me, though.
possibly.
Oh no! Look, we've,
Oh, they got it. I can't believe they got any more.
Oh no!
Come on.
Camera 2 isn't working. All right.
I'll tell you what, there you are. TJ had a motorbike related tattoo. I'd like to see in the comments who else got one. Because I bet you a few of our customers got motorbike
Can you
related.
guess what it was?
Well, can you guess? I've got
I'll
one
take
as
a
well.
photograph. I will put a
It
photograph
was
on.
when you said 1 down, 5 up, it reminded me.
Well,
I've
that's just
got
giving it away,
a
isn't
R NineT Urban GS while on the R NineT subject.
it? Okay.
You've also got a gorilla.
I do also have a gorilla, yeah. Yeah, I also have a gorilla.
I have no tattoos. There you
Yet.
go. Yeah.
RR.
He's not allowed to ride an R NineT until he's got one.
And a beard.
And a beard. All right. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, TJ. That was fab. I've learnt loads more about the R NineT, and I can understand why it is one of your favourites and why it is a favourite of many of our
quick
customers.
thing, if I can.
Of course.
Next week we're going to get our RR demonstrator over to the guys at Pro Race, so
Yep.
we might be able to put a little bit of footage on next Wednesday of us
We will
starting the process.
absolutely do our best to get
Yeah.
some footage of that.
Carry
So there you go. Thank
See
you,
you soon.
TJ. That was TJ. TJ at sycamoremotorrad.co.uk. Obviously, you know Dan as well. Dan. And then if you've got any questions for me, I don't know why you would, but there's my email address as well. All right, another alarm going off. First one today. Made me jump. Thank you, Dan. Let's just take a look. Once again, these are things that you can get for £750. What was this image? I forgot.
I think
that was
might
the
be
second
the
one.
bike,
Wasn't it?
yeah. So that's the 719 option, which which you can use your £750 towards, but you still have money left to play with.
Brilliant. Lovely. Don't forget mugs. Don't forget to follow us
get
on
mugs.
Facebook and Instagram and everywhere else. And please come follow me and follow us. And I will, if you do bike stuff, happily retweet and regram.
Yeah,
and
we
all
definitely
that
want to see your stuff. As we said earlier, we're all into bikes. We all like to see it. We've all got a passion for it. Show what you're doing.
And
We like to see it.
postcards. Postcards is my other project at the moment.
Another
We need to fill up the wall downstairs. So if you're off on holiday, please. Do you know what? I've got a funny feeling somebody's doing that deliberately, and I'm gonna guess who it is. All right, that's a sign that we've probably gone too long. I will see you, and probably with Dan next week. Until then, have a great week and stay safe.
See you soon.